Gamers, so I am so excited to talk about this. Man, we've been grinding with the dinos. We just hit master rank 3, and I got to give a huge shout out to Arrowman Mike, who's been helping me build this dino deck. So basically, originally I had the idea for bestial dinos, which you guys might have seen somewhat recently. He actually came and found out a really interesting way to play the deck, which is like a synchro variant of dinos that does not use the scrap engine whatsoever. So no more bricking on scrap raptors, no more bricking on scrap chimera. Now what we're doing is we're actually using Colosylat as our main tuner, and the combo line is completely different. It's really interesting. It's a really unique playstyle for the deck, and one thing I really like about this build in particular is there's actually a lot of flex spots and a lot of free space where you can put what you want. So this is the list that I have here, but I'm going to show you guys like the absolute necessities for the strategy and just how much space you have to express yourself in the extra deck for your toolkit, for the options that you want to have. Like for instance, once like tier is less relevant, maybe a Biz Dweller will make it out of the extra deck, and that won't really hurt you, and you'll be able to make some space. But let me just show you the deck list, like without all the stuff. That's just what I personally want in there. So here it is. This is pretty much the main bulk of the deck. So here I removed every single hand trap. So like, you know, that's 3 Maxi, 3 Ash. I had 2 Imperm, the cross out, stuff like that, 2 triple tactics talent. That was like my preference, but really you guys could put a bunch of going second cards if you wanted in here. You could put like your preferred hand traps, maybe red reboots if you like that. You could put some more bestials if you wanted to. Bestials are pretty useful in this list. I'll go more in depth about how useful they are once we do the card by card at the end of the video. And as for the extra deck, as you can see here, there's a lot of free space in your extra deck to really make a toolkit that you like. And that's why I absolutely love this strategy. Really, all you need is the Sprite Elf. You want to have the Linkuriboh Secure Gardna in case you brick on an Archosaur. This is still a dino list. It's not never gonna brick, but one of the best things about it is actually with this dino list in particular, every single 2-card combo is full combo. It's not like one of those where like if you have Archosaur and Petite, you'll just get like a smaller version of your combo. It does not matter whether it's Archosaur plus Petite, Archosaur plus Baby, Ovi plus Baby, Ovi plus Misk, Baby plus Misk, you know, all of them are full combo, and then everything else is just extenders. So if you get access to your Giant Rex, that's an extender. If you get your Bestials, you can use them to extend your plays and go into like extra Link monsters or stuff like that. So that's really up to you, but here is the main bulk of the extra deck. Basically, you can use your Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon with a Colosylat and a, well, you can make it with a Colosylat and a Bestial Baldrake to then bring back your Dino Arrestor Colosylat from the grave and go into Baron if you want to. Or you can use your Cupid Pitch using a Colosylat and a Baby, making Cupid Pitch, increasing its level by 2, making it level 6. Then you can use it and an Ovi, make a Baron de Fleur, and you get to search a corridor to summon out the Thunder Dragon Colossus under an Elf protection. So it's really, really insane. It's a super good deck. I can't wait to showcase this. So we got a lot of good replays, and then I'm going to show you some live gameplay, and then we'll go with the card by card and just kind of explain the logic between different cards. So huge shout out to Arrowman Mike for coming up with this line with the Cupid Pitch. We had a great time trying to optimize this strategy. It's actually really, really good. I think it's the best dinos can be in the game right now. I'm pretty confident about it. So let me just showcase it to you guys. So first off, I want to show you just the full combo line if we were to go with a Petite and a Archosaur, because usually when you have Petite Archosaur, you don't get full combo with dinos. Now, I had not yet changed my field here. Please forgive me. We do change it later. But yeah, so as you can see here, I have a Petite, a Archosaur, a Bestial, and a Crossout Designator, as well as a Maxi for next turn. So here we're going to go Archosaur effect, pop the Petite. Petite is, then we're going to get to search, obviously, the double evolution pill. Petite in the grave will summon the Oviraptor. Oviraptor search Misk. We're going to go for Misk effect. And then what we need is just to get this Archosaur in the grave. So we make ourselves a Linkuriboh. That way we have 2 dinos that we can banish without having to banish our Petite Ranodon. We need that in the grave. So summon out the Baby with the Misk effect, pop the Baby, bring back the Petite Ranodon. Then we're going to use our Baby effect to summon Colosylat. We're going to use Petite as well as Linkuriboh to go into Sprite Elf. Then we can use Sprite Elf to bring back Petite Ranodon from the grave. Using Petite Ranodon and Colosylat, we can make ourselves a Cupid Pitch. Then we can increase the level of Cupid Pitch. They're going to go for a Bestial Magnamut. That, I mean, it is what it is. Doesn't really make a huge difference. I'm going to go for a greedy Maxi here. I mean, maybe I should have held my Maxi, but I was like, you know, if they have a lot of Bestials, maybe we'll get a good couple of draws. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Either way, we get a draw there. then they're going to get their bestial effect. Doesn't matter. We're going to increase the level of Cupid Pitch, and then we're going to synchro into our Baron de Fleur. Then what we get to do, we get to go Cupid Pitch in the grave, burn for 1,000, search Nemesis Corridor, add back the Misk that we banished to our deck, and make ourselves an untargetable Colossus. So we have untargetable Colossus with a Baron, so they won't even get a search with Magnamud because of Colossus. Then we can go double Evolution Pill and summon out the UCT. So very straightforward. That was like the worst possible Dino combo that you could get usually when you get like a Petite with a Archosaur. But in this case, whether you have that or any other Dino combo line, you're going to get to build this board. And it's really easy to do. It's really quick. The main difference is because like you're not doing as much popping. It feels kind of wrong at first to synchro off your baby with the Colosylat, but it doesn't really matter because next turn with the Sprite Elf, you can actually bring back one of your babies from the grave, and you can pop it with the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to summon an Ovi from the deck and search a Misk. So it's really, really good. Anyway, here my opponent probably is just going to give up at this point. We're going to pop the Bestial. We're going to use our Druid Worm here to banish their Bestial, and they're just going to call it a day. Another really cool thing I didn't mention, actually, if we did summon that Bestial Druid Worm during our opponent's turn, you could actually pop the Druid Worm with your UCT to trigger the graveyard effect of Druid Worm and destroy like a flipped face down special summon monster or a link monster that you can't flip down with the UCT. So the Bestials do have a lot of utility in Dinos. But yeah, I think that was a great showcase. We have some more. I want to show you a really funny one, actually. All right, so let's get into it. And yeah, we still have the old field. I didn't change the field on this one, but you know, we'll change it later. We'll change it later, trust me. But here we go. So we're going second in this case, and we don't have any like staples, anything like that. It's all Dino cards in our hand, and our opponent is going to basically go like full Blackwing combo here. That I'm not going to start like telling you everything that my opponent's doing because it's Blackwing cards. You know, they're going to summon out the Vada, go Shamal effect, get themselves the Whirlwind, summon out Draco Berserker, bring back the Vada, send the Zephyros, make a Black-Winged Dragon, then they can summon out the Zephyros by bouncing Whirlwind, activate Whirlwind, use Sudri, send to the grave, get a token. With the token, they make a nothing, so they get an extra normal summon. They're going to trigger the effect of Shamal in the grave, adding back to the hand a copy of Sudri, and they take a little bit of burn damage, and they're going to summon out the Sudri with their second normal summon, triggering the Black Whirlwind, searching a couple of Blackwings here, then they're going to activate Twin Shadow, shuffling back 2, and they get to synchro into their Boreas Storm. They're really going full combo here. I have no interruptions, no hand traps. We're just watching them play. I was like watching a YouTube video while this was happening, not gonna lie. Summoning out a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, summoning out a Black-Winged Assault Dragon, making another Black-Winged Assault Dragon, and another. And I just need to show you guys. Okay, look here. They have a negate. They're gonna burn for, I think it's what, 2100 damage every single time I activate a monster effect, right? Because it's 3 times 7. Yep. So every time I activate and resolve a monster effect, they're going to burn for 2100. I want to show you guys how I play through this, because it's pretty crazy. So here we go, draw phase, draw into Ovi, and they're going to go Max C. So we also have to contend with Max C on top of all that. But look at me go. We're going to go Fossil Dig, search a second copy of Misk, and then we're going to go Misk. And here's an interesting thing, guys. You can actually chain your Misk to your own Misk because it's not once per turn, and it's just, you can't use Misk once your monsters are unaffected. So you can actually, since the effect of Misk has not applied yet, where it says that dinos are unaffected during this main phase, you can actually chain Misk to your own Misk. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go Misk, chain Misk to get 2 dinos in the grave since we have our UCT in hand. And there we go. We're going to take a lot of burn damage here. That's 2100 times 2. But then we're going to special summon out the UCT. UCT, we get to pop the baby, so we take no burn. They all get flipped face down. Then we can summon out the Oviraptor. Oviraptor, pop the baby, bring back the baby from the grave, baby effect. Summon out the Colosylat with the baby, make a Herald of the Arclight. The reason I'm doing this is just to be able to negate this back row, whatever it is, you know? That way we're guaranteed to be able to go for game, except if they have like a weird hand trap, like Battle Phase hand trap or something like that, after we negate the back row. So anyway, here we go. Go into battle phase here. Do a little bit of burn. And we're just going to go faster here. They're going to use their trap here. I'm actually going to negate it with my Herald of the Arclight. That's why it's here. And I don't know if this would have made a huge difference, but I didn't even want to deal with it. So do more burn. Do more burn. Do more burn. And do more burn. And then what are we going to do? We're going to do a little bit more burn, right? So there we go. There we go. I thought that was a funny replay. Not really a showcase of this deck in particular. Just kind of showcasing how even with the going first Dino deck against a full-ass board, you can kind of make your way out of it. And it's just a good deck at going second, right? Anyway, we have some other replays more to showcase the main combo against maybe some more relevant decks here. All right, and for this next one, I know a lot of people get confused with Dino combo lines, and they just kind of get mixed up. So I'm going to show you a separate line from the one we did at the start. So I showed you what you do when you have Archosaur plus a baby, and this one I'm going to show you what you do when you have a Misk plus a baby. So here we go. We have the baby Ceratosaurus in hand. We have Fossil Dig. With Fossil Dig, we're going to search a Misk. Then we're going to go for Misk Effect. Then we can go Misk Effect in the grave, banish it to summon Archosaur. Archosaur is going to pop the baby to search a pill. Then we're going to get our baby effect. Baby is going to summon Ovi. Ovi search baby. We did not use our normal summon yet, so we get to normal summon the baby. Ovi, pop the baby, bring back the other baby from the grave. Baby triggers in the grave to summon out the Colosylat. Then what we do is we go into Linkuriboh. The reason we go into Linkuriboh here is just because we want to have a non-dino in the grave for our double evolution pill. And it's also useful if we draw into Bestials later because Linkuriboh is a dark. So you make a Linkuriboh here. And then after you make Linkuriboh, you go into Elf using the Colosylat and the Linkuriboh. You could also use the baby and the Linkuriboh. If you have a Bestial in hand, that's going to be very useful. I'll explain why later. But anyway, we make an Elf here. Elf, bring back the Colosylat. Use Colosylat and baby, making a Cupid Pitch. Cupid Pitch effect, increase its level to make a Baron, and there you go. From here, the combo is pretty much the same. Cupid is going to burn for 1,000. Search the corridor, bring back the Misk. Then we can make ourselves a Colossus, activate the double evolution pill, banish 2, summon the UCT, get to search our Emperor. Same board, same exact line, just in a different way, starting with baby and Misk. So that's just to show the combo, how it works with other lines, because I know a lot of people will tell me they get confused. So here, I mean, we can play it out. They go for Pot of Extravagance. I'm going to negate with Ash, and then we're going to bring back our baby with Elf. They're going to summon some Kashtiras. So Kashtira is pretty cool here. They summon a Kashtira and Ascended, and basically what I do is I go UCT, pop the baby. Once you flip their monsters face down, they can no longer special their Kashtiras from hand because they control a monster on the field, right? So that makes it a lot rougher. They can't even summon a Rise Heart because they don't control a Kashtira monster. So this is why I did that. Then we're going to go Soul Eating Oviraptor to search a Misk using the effect of baby. And then they're going to go for Kashtira Unicorn Tribute Summon, activate Instant Contact to special from the extra deck. Here I'm like, I'm not even going to let you do that. I don't want you rank 7ing anything, so we're just going to negate that. They can't even search with the Unicorn because of the Colossus, so they just kind of scoop it up. That's a pretty good showcase of what you might expect once the ban list hits, because Kashtira is probably going to be a lot more relevant since tier limit is going to go down in power level significantly. Alright, and another matchup I think is going to be pretty popular once the ban list hits is going to be Labyrinth. I think Labyrinth is going to go not like up in power level, but compared to other decks, it's definitely not going to go down in power level, so I think Labyrinth will be very popular in the upcoming format once the ban list hits tomorrow. And because of that, here what we're going to be playing is going second against Labyrinth. I kind of want to showcase this matchup. Going second against Labyrinth is never super easy. Our hand doesn't have any hand traps or anything like that, any real staples other than Called by the Grave. So this is going to be an interesting match, right? They're going to go for Labyrinth, in set 4, which is like, oh shit, okay. All right, we drew into Max C, which is going to help a lot. We're going to go Called by the Grave on their Shuffler because we don't want them to shuffle out our Miscellaneousaurus. This is really dangerous. Shufflers are really dangerous against dinos. So here we're going to go Misk Effect, and they're going to go for Welcome Labyrinth. At this point, obviously, we're going to chain our Max C to get some extra draws. Our hand is good, but if we can draw into some Bestials, that is definitely going to help. And then they're going to go big Welcome Labyrinth. So that's fair. And they're going to go Ice Dragon's Prison to grab our Misk. So they're going to stop us from using the graveyard effect of Misk. But with the hand we have here, that's not really the end of the world. We're going to be able to play regardless. It's just going to be a little bit different. So they're going to add that back to the hand. Keep in mind, even though they grabbed our Misk, our monsters are still going to be unaffected. The first effect of Misk did resolve. So our dinos are still unaffected by activated effects. We drew into Archosaur here, which is what I was going to search with my Fossil Dig anyway. Here they're going to trigger their Ariana as well as their Labyrinth and the Labyrinth in order to, I think it's the effect to special summon. Yeah, they're going to special summon out the Lady Labyrinth, and we draw into Colosylat, which is even better at this point. They get their Chandelier back. And here we go. They add also the Stovey Torby. We're going to special Colosylat, normal the Archosaur to pop the baby, searching our double evolution pill, baby effect, summon Ovi. Ovi effect, send a Misk to grave, right? Because Ovi doesn't have to add to hand. Ovi can send to grave. We send a Misk so that we can use the graveyard effect of Misk, summon a baby, pop the baby with the Ovi, summon the other baby from the graveyard, summon a baby from the deck with the baby effect so we can summon UCT, pop the baby, summon from our deck a level 4, we summon a Misk, we go into Cupid Pitch with the Misk, we make ourselves a Baron de Fleur, we get to trigger the Cupid Pitch, they're going to go for the effect of Chandelier, which doesn't really matter here. They take 1,000 burn damage, we search ourselves our corridor, shuffle back the Misk, then we can use our corridor to make a Colossus. We pop the Labyrinth with the Baron de Fleur and just go for battle, and we just clean it up. And honestly, even if we didn't have Maxi there, we could have done pretty much the same thing because our combo is pretty consistent. Like I said, we can go full combo with any combination of like baby plus Archosaur, baby plus Mist, etc., which helps the deck list quite a lot. So I thought that was a pretty good showcase, you know, going second. Obviously we had the Maxi, but I really don't think Maxi made all the difference there. Anyway, I think that's enough of me talking quickly over replays. Maybe we should get into some live gameplay. Hopefully we get lucky, we get going first with a decent hand. It's still dinos at the end of the day. You can still brick sometimes. My win rate with this deck is definitely not like 99%. Here you can see like a win streak of 2. Like usually my win streaks are like 2 to 3, then I'll lose 1, sometimes even lose 2. So, you know, it's still dinos. It's still not easy to get to Master 1 with dinos. I'm not suggesting this deck is top tier or anything like that. I'm just saying this is probably the best way to play dinos, and I think this is your best bet at getting Master 1. I also think with the new format, the power level of the game is going to be a bit lower. You know, they're really like pulling back the power level with the new ban list that they did. So I actually think dinos is going to shine a lot better once that new ban list drops. So that's why I wanted to prepare you guys with a really solid dino deck. So again, huge shout out to Arrowman Mike for helping me out, and let's see what we get here. All right, let's see if we can get going first here, going second. We're still playing dinos. We're still playing dinos. So hand traps. Hand traps are great. Hand traps, we have a lot of them. I think like something like 10 or 11. So not too bad if we get a couple of our hand traps. Bestials can help too. This is no hand traps, no bestials, 2 fossil dig, Archosaur, Giant Rex, UCT. Not a very good hand. Pretty bad hand for going second. Playing against Runic, that's going to be tough. That's going to be weird. This is going to be a weird one, especially if they're playing stun. Okay, they're using Slumber first, which kind of tells me they don't have any other Runic cards in hand. Because usually you would not use Slumber first. Yeah, they're going for the draw 1. Okay, so it's probably Sprite Runic. That's even worse, actually. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, so they shuffle in 1. Playing through Sprite Runic is going to be awful. Debatable, actually. They'll most likely only have 1 spell and trap negate, so having 2 fossil digs, we might be able to get our Misk. But they'll also have red. But might be playable. Might be playable if they use their red on the first effect of Misk. Most likely can pretty safely land our UCT. Depends on how many negates they get on the board, really.
5 hours later.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's not looking great, but it's not the worst thing ever. 2 UCT in hand. I would have liked something else, I'm going to be honest. But we're going to go Fossil Dig here. Surely this would get negated by Carrot. Not negated by Carrot. We're going to grab a Misk. The funny thing here is they can't achieve anything if we just... Yeah, let's go Fossil Dig again. Maybe they'll negate this one. Not negating it. Okay, so I'm just thinking... If during the main phase our UCT is unaffected, once we go into the battle phase, they have absolutely nothing, right? I mean, I guess they can make an Avram with this IP. If they do that, we don't have to go into the battle phase after. Yeah, so here's my idea. Yeah, let's go like Misk. Effect 1. They're letting it go through. Let's go for Misk. Effect number 2. Letting it go through. And now let's go Archosaur. Effect 1. They can't negate it. This is looking really playable. If they don't get a pop, they don't get their draw 3. They don't have any runic spells in hand. Yeah, if they try to negate just to make space for Elf, that's fine. So here we can pop the Giant Rex. Grab the double evolution pill, which I don't think we're going to be using. But, you know, it's there. We can go into Linkuriboh. No, actually, let's not do that. Linkuriboh would be affected. Let's just banish those 2 from the grave right now. Yeah, let's just do that. Banish these 2. This is such a weird one, but it's actually working. It's a weird game. I'm not going to lie. This is a weird one. Giant Rex effect. He comes back. He comes back. Yeah, I'm just looking at this full field. Like, you have to use your red here, man. You have to. Otherwise, you go Masquerena for Avram, basically. You have to go like Masquerena for Avram here, right? Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. If I use UCT right now, I won't be able to use it for a baby later. No, this is okay. This is okay. I'm guessing it's Avramax. They have to make Avramax here. There's like nothing else that even helps them. Oh. I guess there was something else that helped them. Okay. That is, not bad. Not bad. Let's go Linkuriboh.
Now we kind of have to do this. Kind of have to. Kind of have to. Yeah. That was the one thing we were affected by, you know? Yeah, so that, bring back that. That's actually a problem. That's actually a problem. That's okay. We can play around it a little bit. We can go Misk for 2, make Elf, and they no longer have their Donpa, so they don't get to do Donpa stuff anymore. They linked away their Donpa. We can still clear this whole board though at this point. So maybe what we do is actually we just keep that Misk in the grave. Yeah, because we cleared this entire board. Okay, let's do that. Actually, yeah, I'm kind of liking that. Yeah, we'll banish these two. We'll keep Misk in the grave. Yeah, this is a weird one. This is a weird one. All right, let's go to battle. Rex fight for higher. Summon Donpa, I guess. Oh no, Rafal. So they will get Rafal for 2, I guess. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm okay with that. 1. They get a fountain. That's awful. Let's go to battle anyway. That doesn't matter. And yeah, let's just clear this up. Let's just clear it up. Clear it. All right. Isn't this, like, this is not lethal, is it? Nah, it was close, but it's not lethal. Did they use red effect this turn? I think they didn't. So we're just going to clear it by battle without using the effect. It was close to lethal. The thing is, Giant Rex can't attack directly. I mean, they're on a single fountain. I think we're fine. If they get any level 2, we just flip it down. It doesn't really matter. We were almost lethal. Close to lethal. Close to lethal. Close to lethal. I guess I could just like Misk for 1 and make an IP Masquerena to be able to unicorn on my opponent's turn for extra insurance here. I'll just summon Archosaur. This was a weird game. This was a weird duel. As you guys can see, though, this is not like a one-trick pony. This deck can adapt to situations. It has a lot of different plays available if you can't do your flowchart combo. So I really do think this is like the best way to play dinos. So yeah, here I'm going to pass on an ability to make a unicorn plus a UCT. That's pretty good. Pretty good. So depending on what they get, we can choose between unicorn or UCT. Like if they activate a runic card, we're going to go for unicorn just so that they don't get the draw. Okay, they're activating a runic card. So here's a cool thing about that. Yeah, they lose. When they activate a runic card, I could have just went unicorn, bounced the fountain, they would get no draw. So it was a good thing that we went for IP Masquerena at the end of that turn. But yeah, I think that was a great showcase of the deck. I already showed you like the full like flowchart combo in the replays. So here I kind of got to show you like, you know, just like different interactions with a deck that's going to be really good in the upcoming format. Even if you're not getting your full combo, you can still play, you know. So I think that was a really good showcase. And we went second too, so, you know, nothing to scoff at. All right, guys, let's do the card by card for this deck. Super proud of the deck, by the way, and I'm really thankful that I was able to cook it up with Arrowman Mike. Thank you for that synchro tech. That shit is crazy. We actually spent a lot of time like debating the best ratios, the best build. It was really fun cooking with you, man. But yeah, guys, this is the deck here. Let me tell you right now, this deck is probably the best way to play Dino in the current format. I've been doing pretty good in Master Rank with it, which is saying a lot because Master Rank is pretty tough right now, especially since the new ban list has not yet come into effect. Once the tier hits come through and Merrli goes to 0, I think this deck will be even better because the power level of the format will be like just diminished significantly. But anyway, let's do the card by card as we always do. So we have 2 copies of Archosaur, 3 copies of the Baby, 3 copies of Maxi, 1 copy of Petite, 1 copy of Colosylat. And Colosylat is really good for this deck. A really interesting interaction that I didn't get to showcase in this video, but that is very important, is that if you go Colosylat and you have a Bestial that you can summon, well, you can use Colosylat and Bestial to go into Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. With the Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, you can bring back your Colosylat and make yourself either a Baron de Fleur or a Chengying. Now, I do recommend running especially Baron de Fleur. Chengying is just like kind of a flex card because sometimes they will unicorn banish your Baron, so I like having another Synchro 10 that you can go into. And also later in the duel, using the effect of Elf, you can actually bring back your Colosylat, and you can use Colosylat plus like a Thunder Dragon Colossus to get a Chengying if you just need something to really close out the game or to clear something on the field, stuff like that. So I definitely, like, if you have the Chengying, you could run it, but you know, this is not a must run. I think Baron is a must run. We have 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 1 copy of Giant Rex, 3 copies of Misk. Giant Rex is super important. Dimensional Shifter is really popular right now, as well as cards like macro cards and stuff like that. Worst case scenario, if they shifter, you can normal summon Ovi, and Ovi has the option of either adding to hand or sending to the grave. So you can actually send a Giant Rex to the grave with Ovi's effect, and then, well, you get to special summon it from the banish pile and at least make yourself like a Baguska or make yourself a Dolka, depending on what you prefer. Usually, you should probably make a Baguska if you're getting shiftered, because most decks that use shifter have a pretty tough time against Baguska. Obviously, it sucks because sometimes you'll just get impermed and stuff. It's not like the most optimal thing ever, but I mean, like, at least it's a play under shifter instead of doing nothing, right? 3 copies of Misk naturally, 3 copies of Ovi, 1 copy of Corridor so you can make Colossus. You search it with the Cupid Pitch, 1 copy of Bestial Magnamut, 1 copy of Druisworm, and 1 copy of Baldrake. So like I said, you can use a Baldrake and a Colosylat to go into the Axle in order to get to your level 10 synchros. Another interesting play and really important one actually is when you make Elf early into your combo, your Elf is the first like card that your opponent might want to imperm that is actually affected by card effects, because you know you're protected by Misk until you summon a Linkuriboh. Obviously no one's going to negate Linkuriboh, but after that you summon an Elf and they might want to imperm your Elf. If they imperm your Elf and you have a Bestial in hand, what you're going to do is you're going to go Bestial, banish the Linkuriboh in your grave, and then you get to use your Bestial and your Colosylat to make an Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon. So I would say if you have a Bestial in hand, always make your Elf using a baby and the Linkuriboh instead of using Colosylat and the Linkuriboh. Just a really important tip there from just like practicing with the deck a lot. 2 copies of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. If you want to, you can run 1 UCT, 1 Pank. I prefer having 2 UCT personally, but Pank is not a card that you can really sleep on. It's a good card. 2 copies of Double Evolution Pill as always, 3 copy Fossil Dig, 2 Triple Tactics Talent. I just found myself really enjoying having this card in the deck. Sometimes, you know, they'll like Ash your Misk, and getting those 2 extra draws with the Triple Tactics Talent can kind of save you and give you some extra plays and stuff like that. So I like the Triple Tactics Talent, but this is not a must play. This is definitely in the list of cards you don't need to run. Pot of Prosperity I would say is a must run, just because like it just helps you with your combo going first. Like I showed you guys earlier, this combo is really flexible, so there's a lot of cards you can actually like remove from your extra deck and you can still do your combo. So I think digging for 3 or digging for 6 even can really be worth it. So yeah, obviously going second Prosperity is kind of rough, so if you guys don't want to play the Prosperity, I understand. You could play a second Small World. Small World is always good in the Dino engine, but personally I think Pot of Prosperity is a bit better going first, just because Small World is kind of hand dependent, whereas Pot of Prosperity is not. Running 2 Called By, I do think Called By is kind of necessary, especially with Shufflers still being a threat that exists in the metagame. Like Shufflers are just really good against Dinos. If they shuffle Misk before you get to activate your Misk effect, you're in trouble. 1 copy of Crossout. This is just because I'm playing the basic package of Imperm, Ash, and Maxi, so the odds of my Crossout being live are pretty likely, so that's why I'm running the Crossout, and obviously 2 copies of Imperm. For the extra deck, obviously we have the Colossus. For the Corridor, we have the Herald of the Arclight. As you saw earlier, Herald of the Arclight is a good card to summon when you're going second. If you're trying to like insulate yourself and you're in, like in a maxi challenge, you're trying to go for game and you're just trying to protect yourself from like 1 interruption so that you can just close it out with UCT. Herald of the Arclight is really good for that. Also, if they have some kind of threat on the board, you can actually like just summon a Herald of the Arclight instead of going the full Cupid pitch line. So, you know, it definitely comes up. It's good to have. I definitely recommend running Herald of the Arclight. Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon is, like I said, some insulation in case they negate the Sprite Elf or stuff like that. We have the Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign with the Baron. These are just your 2 like level 10 synchros that you want to go into. If you just want to run 1, I would run the Baron de Fleur, so you can negate Evenly Matched, which is like really good against this deck if you don't negate it. Other than that though, like Cheng Ying is just a good way to close out games, and you got a lot of ways of banishing in this deck, so you'll be able to use Cheng Ying pretty often, especially since you're running a Bestial engine. We have the Dolka. I think Dolka out of the XCs is the one I like the most and the one I would keep above all else. Baguska probably come in second, just because Baguska, again, if you're like in a D-shifter kind of situation, you probably want something to rely on to just kind of have like a blanket effect and stall out the game a little bit. Obviously it's not the best card in the world and it's very susceptible to spells and traps, so it's not the best thing ever, but I still think Baguska is definitely worth running. Abyss Dweller is probably going to get out of the deck list pretty soon. Once if Tier gets less popular after the ban list, I'm probably going to be removing Dweller. Dugares is staying for sure because Dugares just helps you close out games. If I remove Dweller, I'm probably going to throw in a Pentastag actually. Pentastag, I don't really have the space for it right now, but Pentastag is really good at closing out games with the UCT, so I might run the Pentastag instead of the Dweller, either that or the Goddess. We have the Linkaribo with the Secure Gardena, we have IP Masquerena for the Unicorn, obviously, and the Sprite Elf. I almost want to run 2 Sprite Elf because it's so insane in this deck, but it's probably not worth doing. But yeah, Sprite Elf is just crazy. Bring back a baby. In this deck especially, it's like integral to your combo to bring back Colosilot or a baby in order to go into your Cupid pitch. So super integral to the deck. Sprite Elf is the best Dino support card ever made, or ever since Archosaur, the best support card for Dinos has been Sprite Elf. This card is crazy. But yeah, that's a deck list. Thank you guys. Thank you for checking out the video. Again, huge shout out to Arrowman Mike for helping me out with like figuring out the synchro combo. He's the one that figured out the Cupid pitch line, and we optimized it together in the Discord. So make sure to join the Discord if you haven't already. The link is in the description. This was a ton of fun to make, and honestly, I'm super happy to be able to play Dinos somewhat confidently in ladder right now. So yeah, that's all thanks to you, man. So thank you for the help, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Huge shout out to my Ultimate Conductor tier members. You guys are awesome, as well as everyone else supporting on Twitch everywhere. Thank you. Okay, I'm out of here.